Shelby Harris, well, he has re-signed with the Denver Broncos. 3 years, $27 million deal with $15 million guaranteed. He was one of the top free agent defensive tackles out there, and I am happy to say that Shelby Harris ended up getting this deal. He's a great dude, great player, and when the free agency market really opened, I thought it was really between Dalvin Thomas and Shelby Harris. We're kind of fighting it out for the number 2 spot. Sure, then once J.J. Watt came out, people were like, all right, J.J. Watt's better than Shelby Harris. Also, somebody like Leonard Williams, since he's franchise tagged. So, ultimately, for Denver, you let go of Jarrell Casey, but you were able to retain Shelby Harris, which is definitely a good move. He's 29 years old, really did not have that good of a start of his career with the Las Vegas Raiders, or I guess Oakland Raiders, and then went over to Denver and really hasn't looked back. 6'2", 290-pounder, age 29, coming off another really solid year. If you're looking for a solid DT that can plug up the holes, that can stop the running game, he's definitely somebody that can do it. 32 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. Also one of the better players, especially at DT, at swatting balls down. I mean, there's no doubt how important that can be, especially to your defense. So even though Denver still has a lot of question marks in terms of being Von Miller, has a lot of question marks at the cornerback market, I mean, you are still able to bring back one of the top defenders, one of the most important players on your front. That is Shelby Harris. So I do think this kind of takes them out of the ability to go out and draft somebody like a Christian Barmore. I saw some reports out there. So Harris, he's coming back to the Denver Broncos. 3 years, $27 million deal. If you want to let me know in the comments what you would grade this signing, A, B, C, D, or F, let me know. Your balls will thank you, and so will your wife, girlfriend, or that random girl you find down the street if you get started with Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping on the best male grooming products out there. The Lawnmower 3.0, it fits great in your hand, an 8-hour battery life, and with an 8-hour battery life, she's going to want you to last even longer than that. So the Lawnmower 3.0, it's got a little light at the end of the tunnel, so when you get in those hard-to-reach places, you know what I mean? I'm talking you're pulling some of these numbers out, you're doing all sorts of weird stuff in the shower, you can see what you're doing. Go to manscaped.com/chat. The link's easy to find, and the hairs on your body, they'll be even easier to get rid of. If you take advantage of this deal right now, you also get boxers and this traveling case 100% free. And I promise you this, if you wear these boxers and they're not the most comfortable boxers that you've ever put on, dude, I don't know what you're doing with your life. Then you got a whole lot of situation going on. Now, ball deodorant. For those of you that maybe have never heard of it, you've heard of regular deodorant, right? Hopefully. Hopefully. Ball deodorant is just as important. Have you ever walked by somebody and you're like, wow, what was that? Seriously, be a man right here and be honest with me. I want you to take your hand, reach down there, and then smell it. If it doesn't smell good, it's because you're not using ball deodorant and you're not using ball toner. So if it doesn't smell good for you, imagine it ain't going to smell good for anybody else out there. And if you do finally, around third base, if those of you over 18 or, know what I'm talking about. If you are rounding third base and you're getting ready to slide for home, she's going to say no way if you're smelling in some type of way. So go to manscaped.com/chat where you can go ahead and take advantage and make sure that you have the perfect package. We here at Chat Sports, we absolutely love all their products. I promise you will too. 20% off, free shipping. And again, it's in the comments, it's in the description. Do not miss out on this deal. Shaquill Griffin potentially going to the Denver Broncos. We're talking about it here. Mitchell Renz from Chat Sports. Griffin, he's going to test the free agent market because he and Seattle, they are not even in the same ballpark. Denver, they could be interested in a, top cornerback, maybe somebody even like a Shaq Griffin. Obviously, coming off a year that Denver had, they're going to be trying to get back to the no-fly zone because I like Drew Lock. He's got a lot of talent around him, and that offense, I do think, is ready to get going and start flying. But the Denver defense that I grew up watching, or the Denver defense that we've seen the last few years, the way that they honestly won that Super Bowl was with the no-fly zone. Chris Harris Jr. obviously not there anymore. A.J. Boye, he's not there anymore. So this is going to be a team that's probably going to be looking for a new identity. Can you go out and bring in somebody like Shaq Griffin where, sure, his number is probably a little bit high. That's why him and Seattle aren't there. But luckily for Denver, they got money to spend. If John Elway wants to rip out the checkbook, they can do it. And for a player coming out, 63 tackles, 3 interceptions, 12 pass breakups. I mean, Denver's 8th in terms of NFL cap space. They can make this happen if they want to make it happen. The real question is, how much does Shaq ultimately want? But if you do go out and you make this signing, he is your no doubt cornerback one. Bryce Callahan, he had an okay year, right? However, there are other 2 cornerbacks. I can never pronounce his name. Ojemudia, he played a lot like a rookie normally plays. And then Bassi played a little bit underwhelming as well. But if you can go out and maybe make Bryce Callahan your cornerback 2, you make Shaquill Griffin your cornerback 1, that does change your identity a little bit more on defense. Is Shaquill Griffin maybe built for exactly what Denver's trying to do? That still remains to be seen. However, if you're looking to go out and not totally spend big on a guy like maybe Richard Sherman's going to be more, maybe William Jackson's going to cost a little bit more, maybe a guy like Casey Hayward. I mean, I still think that Shaq, the jury is still out on how good he is, but if you're confident in your coaches, if you're confident in your scheme, only 25 years old, he's shown glimpses that this guy can truly be elite. So who would be the best free agent signing by the Denver Broncos? I want you to spam the comments here. They got the 8th most in terms of cap space. They definitely have a lot of holes on defense. Sure, this answer might change if Von Miller's situation changes up a little bit, but who do y'all think would be the best free agent signing by the Denver Broncos? We're going to stick here with Shaquill Griffin, and if you watch Chat Sports a lot, you'll know that I am not a math guy. I'll be honest with y'all, the SATs, they didn't treat me very kindly, especially in math. But NFL Network's Cynthia Frelund, she used analytics to figure out Denver's best signing. So ultimately, she crunched a whole bunch of numbers and figured out which player on the free agent market, if Denver signed, if you brought him in, would be able to increase their win total the most. It was Shaquill Griffin. So if Denver Broncos go out and they bring him in, according to Cynthia Frelund, it would add 0.85 wins. So basically an extra win. I'll tell you what, man, that's pretty interesting. He definitely fills a major need. I do think it actually would be a pretty good scheme fit as well. Now, I know I'm not a numbers guy, but if the analytics are coming in and where maybe it'd make a lot of sense, sure, maybe that would pursue somebody like John Elway to go out and throw out a few extra dollars here. So Shaquill Griffin is one of the younger, more talented cornerbacks. He was average in 2020. I'm going to say that had to do a lot with the injuries. He played in only 12 games. 2019, though, dude was absolutely elite. One of the best corners in football. 2018, though, on the other hand, he was bad. So how much are you going to pay this guy when you have 3 years with 3 totally different results, and he's coming off a year that he did battle some injuries? So speak your mind. What do you guys think here? Should the Denver Broncos go out and sign Shaquill Griffin? If you're like, yes, they absolutely should. I understand he's coming off a down year, but this guy can be elite. Type Y for yes. If you're like, you know what? I saw the 2018 tape. I didn't love it. I am a little bit worried about the 2020 season as well. I want you to go ahead and down and type N for no.